I talked to somebody recently, and I like to use specific things in my life sometimes as an example. Not always, but sometimes they're perfect examples because God supplies that. He says, "Here you go. Here's a good example for you. You can use this," you know? And so I do. So I'm not putting anybody in particular on the spot because any example that I ever use, I mean, there are so many. The reason that God's bringing it up right now is because a lot of you who are watching are either experiencing it or will experience it, or maybe don't realize you're doing it or whatever. So, but that's why it's being brought to the table to, so I'm not trying to make somebody feel bad. I'm not pointing at somebody saying, any of that. So that's the first thing you should know. But I believe that we should all be taking some type of action to try to break us free and become free. A lot of people take advantage of and realize that there are good guys going on, working hard behind the scenes, saving humanity. But they are letting all the burden go on those guys, and they're just kind of sitting back. Okay, well, I know that we won the war. I have faith. So go, guys, keep doing your great work. And they're just exhausting themselves, and they're, going deep into the trenches, rescuing sex trafficked children. And they're really doing their part, and they're taking the hit, and they're worn out and exhausted, where the rest of us, can be worn out and exhausted just by trying to keep the faith and be like, well, when are the good things going to happen? When is God going to start? Blah, blah, blah. And then we are seeing a lot of things start to turn around right now. It's miraculous, all of it. Watch Dr. Kia Pruitt. If you guys want to hear, she's excellent at bringing up like the latest stuff. Also, Mark Z, the original Mark Z, he is really great too. He brings up a lot of stuff. You have to get through all the hello so and so for like 10-15 minutes in the beginning of his videos, but the rest of it, it's very informative. And if you're a part of certain Telegram groups, then you just get the snippet of the really important things he says. Also, Militia Man. If you're curious about the currency revaluations that are happening in the world very soon, then you can find out more from Militia Man. Frank 26 is also a pretty good source of information. I don't think he's awake as some of us, but he's definitely awake about certain things that he's very interested in. Let's just say there's all these variations of where people are at on that scale. So, having said all of that, I just think that we need to not put part of what we're doing right now as humanity is we're taking responsibility for our part. Like say you're in a relationship, we'll use that as an example again. You don't want to put it all on your partner to always be wrong, or to always right it, or to always make up for things, or to always, oh, they'll take care of it. They always do. They always bring the harmony. They always bring the such and such. Any relationship you has need to be balanced. It has to be like both of you give and take. Both of you, it should be a reciprocated, collaborative effort. So we can do tiny little steps, but I want you guys to consider what is it called? The butterfly effect. Okay. Take a look at that movie, The Butterfly Effect. Just one tiny little decision to be brave and take one little tiny step can change everybody's course. Okay. Our entire collective, our whole world can be saved by you making one tiny little decision to be strong and take a stand and do the right thing to help out humanity. So please do not see yourself as insignificant or hidden, or you're in some kind of nook and you're just like protected in your little space and you just want to kind of do this. Some people see me as living like a target, and I am. But for me, it's worth it because I believe in God. I believe in love. I believe we've won. And I believe even the times that I wasn't sure if we had won, I knew we would, because love always wins. God always wins because he's the creator of it all. And I've seen way too many miracles. I have a whole flippin' book of miracles, you guys. a whole book of miracles I've experienced in my life that are inexplicable. There's no way somebody could say that there's not a God. I have all the evidence in the world. Now, my PTSD makes me a little bit rocky sometimes when certain things happen and I get kind of scared, but that's all. I know God's got this, and he's always laughing and he's always letting me know it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. In fact, it's going to blow your mind how incredible it's going to be. So, and I listen to that too. So, whatever step you can take, like I would definitely, if you're not on my Instagram, please get on my Instagram. I have so much great information on there. And I just put up a few books that I highly recommend. One of the titles of one of the books is called UCC Connection. Get that book and get all the books that look like it. They all look the same. There's like 3 or 4 books. If you get those 3 or 4 books, you're going to be blown away about just how much power you have and the rights that you have that they don't tell you about. Just reading the information. I don't care if you actually go practice it. If you're too scared to practice it, fine. But I want to remind you of this too. On one of my recent videos about maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, it was on an Ask Amy Q&A, and it was toward the beginning, and you can look at my timestamps underneath all my videos. I actually look at the vibrational scale, and I'm reading this book, Letting Go, which is an excellent, excellent book by David Hawkins. And he said something about how they measured on the vibrational scale, like at a certain point, you're pretty much dictated by demons whispering in your ears. Now, he doesn't use this language, and I do, because God told me personally, start telling people what demons are up to. Let them know that the ego is demons. Your ego is demons, okay? And that is good to know. Why? Because you don't take it so personally, and you've been fed a line of baloney when you get mad at somebody and whatnot. It's not you. It's demons toying with you and putting those thoughts in your mind. Thought forms that Eckhart Tolle talks about in A New Earth. Those also are ego. Those also are demons. He just doesn't say it. So what was I going to say about that? Oh, on the vibrational scale. Thank you. on when all of this is demons and all of this is you listening to the angels, basically, if you want to put it like angels versus demons, love versus fear, however you want to put that, right? Guess what the thing right in the middle is that causes either you're listening to this or you're listening to that, okay? Guess what this deciphering factor is? Courage. That's what we figured out. Courage. So if you don't have courage, if you're making up a bunch of excuses, now I talk to a lot of you from all over the world, everywhere, and all of you sound the same. My government's different than yours. My country's different than yours. People here are different than that. People here don't talk about demons. People here don't. And I'm like, dude, I push the envelope, okay? I mean, it's not normal here either. In the United States, the people go on and on about demons. Trust me. And this government is very, very corrupt and very, I mean, it's horrible. Everywhere, you guys, everybody got duped in this. So I'm not taking anyone's excuse to hiding away. And when I hear the excuses, you know what it sounds like to me? Demon, demon, demon. Only demons would say that. Demons say things that are disempowering. Demons give you excuses as to why you can just kind of tuck and hide away and not do anything about anything. Angels are the ones that come in and say, I'm proud of you. You can do this. Go do the thing. Go do the thing that makes your hand shake, that makes you scared. I told you guys when I started studying some of this stuff about common law and started pushing against certain things that I knew were going on and pushing against gently, but in administratively and totally diplomatically and respectful. I think that we really have to be peaceful because part of our jurisdiction is on the spiritual realm is you're choosing, there's a fear jurisdiction, which all those guys, all the tyrannical people are under that jurisdiction, but we're under God's jurisdiction, which is love.
So we have to always be choosing a side. What are we in? And we can't be double-minded to where we act out of love here, but then we act out of fear here, or act out of tyranny here, and go back and forth like that. God wants us to try to be at least courageous, to be on the side of love. That's all I'm encouraging everybody to do right now. I was scared to death when I started going against certain entities. I went against certain entities and I sweated it. I got a citation to show up in court. I got like all kinds of stuff. Okay. But you know what? It feels really, really good when you break through it and you have success, one after the other, after the other, after the other. It builds your confidence. It builds your self-esteem. It makes you feel good about choosing the light, choosing the good side, because good and God always win. Always. If you do it right. Now, you can't pretend to be in this jurisdiction but be over here. You shouldn't be charging me for this. I can't believe it. You have to be really careful what you say. Because if you're in anger, you're actually in fear. If you're in fear, guess who's got control of you? And they know it. They can read it in what you send to them. They can tell you're afraid. So you have to be very present when you fill out the information. You have to be very present when you send it. Send it with a blessing. Send it with all the love in your heart. Whatever stand you take that stand in love. Take that stand in the present moment. And that's going to get you through it. Okay, but do something. Read a book, file a paper, push against something, look for somebody in your country who knows something. There's got to be something. So be looking for it. Do you know that the masks actually have graphene oxide in them? What's graphene oxide? Black goo. What is black goo? Pure evil. You're inhaling pure evil when you're wearing those graphene oxide masks. Those are just the blue and white ones. Okay, not the other ones. I don't think. I mean, as far as we know. I'm just saying that the tricks are everywhere. I would watch my video on the tricks the demons play, or the one, where's that? What's the name of that other one? Where I first realized all of that, what that was going on. We're living in the Truman Show, but it's also angels versus demons. It's the angels versus demons Truman Show going on right now. And people are just waking up to that. So that's the other thing, is that when God is prompting you to be brave and do something to take a stand, and you get slammed with synchronicities, some crazy thing happens out of nowhere, and it's really painfully obvious, like, hello, you're being told to do this thing. Do not sit there and make up excuses. That's the worst possible thing you could do in this time, you guys. I'm telling you, if you don't listen to God and the synchronicities that are happening around you, God will create a tower moment. That means your whole life will come crumbling down. It will just absolutely come crumbling down. Why? Is it because God's bad? No. It's because God's trying to put a fire under your butt to go do what's going to truly make you happy. And it's not being a coward hiding under a rock. That's not what's going to make you happy. Or pretending to be like in this little peace and love bubble. You know, when you're actually depressed and you're actually feeling this and that, the other thing, because you're listening to demons all day, right? You can tell whether you're listening to demons or you're listening to angels, because one makes you feel great and lifts you up and keeps you, like, I deal with demons all the time. Okay, guys, we all do. All of us who have an ego. Everybody has an ego unless you're enlightened. But for me, I know what they are. I can identify them instantly and get rid of them. It's nothing for me. And it's so fun. Like, it's fun even fighting the dark side. Everything about my life is fun. I am humming. I am singing. I am happy. I am chipper. I am having a really beautiful time with my life. And I'm enjoying like every aspect of it. But I also have a lot of wisdom. I have a lot of confidence. I've pretty much alleviated any kind of fear when it comes to the dark side, because I've faced all of it and I've won. Why have I won?
because I know how energy works. It's the key to everything. You win every battle if you're dealing with energy. And if you know that everything at its core is energy. So, and that love always trumps evil. Always. I don't know why anybody's on the dark side. It's like the funniest thing. It's like, what the heck? You on the dark side, you get duped, you get lied to by everybody. They all tell you some kind of lie to charm you. You get run over with a semi truck. You get left for dead. There's nothing good about it. You get some fame or fortune or whatever for a little while, but it feels miserable. Then you have to take drugs and alcohol all the time just to feel okay. It's so dumb. Who would pick the dark side? I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I actually have a drove of demons who are now choosing to come to the light. So that says a lot. And I have a lot of talks with those guys. I'm like, what are you guys doing? What did they lie to you about now? What did they tell you that they would do for you? Oh, or I'll spare you from this or whatever. It's like, living beneath courage, living under courage. I don't know. It's that's not what we're here for right now. Be authentic. Be authentic, be brave, stretch yourself outside the comfort zone. What did I just say on I think the last, what was it, Great Awakening? That last Great Awakening, I think, or maybe it was just last week's Ask Amy Q&A, but it said basically everything was about getting outside your comfort zone. I'm just saying, don't be so scared that you don't do something brave, because I never would have seen myself doing this at all. If you would have told me that I would be doing what I'm doing now, I would have been shaking in my boots, and I would have been, there's no way that I could do that. But I'm doing it all the time. And it's like, I don't know, breathing and eating. And it's very normal. It's very natural and normal. I very much look forward to the day, though, when everything gets flipped right side up and God's taken over and he makes it really plain and obvious. Look, it's my time again. These are my children, and I want them to live the life that I intended for them to live, not being harassed 24/7 by these demons. And I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.